Yo, what's happening, guys? We've got a windy day, so we can actually test the mic. So what we're going to be doing is, I nearly fell over again. What we're going to be doing is, we're going to be working on the CORSA B story. So what we're going to be doing is, as I said in some previous videos, I've got some big boy drive shafts, because I think we've already destroyed the CV joint on the driver's side. That's why I've been taking it a bit easier on it. And we're also going to do a full service. So I've treated it. I've got it some rock oil on everything. So we're going to be doing some 5W30, which is like the normal oil, but this is a fully synthetic rock oil, 5W30, and then I got some more gearbox oil, because obviously when we take the drive shafts off we're going to have to change the gearbox oil. So I've got some 8W90, which is like the standard F20 gearbox oil, and it's what a lot of the lads tend to use when they're running turbos as well. So it's the EP80W90, that's rock oil as well. As I say, I thought I'd treat it. Who knows how long it's going to last. I might do this and then it might blow up, but I think it's going to be one of them days anyway. So I'm going to start jacking it up, stripping it down, and we'll see where it goes and if anything's come loose. Right, so we've got the car now jacked up on both sides, so we've got some nice clearance to get underneath it. Also, we've got axle stands on both sides. Got my dodgy little screwdriver in there because I couldn't find a pin for the axle stand. Need to get some others because these aren't multi-adjustment, so they're a bit of a pain in the arse when you're jacking your car up. But yeah, just undone all wheel bolts, so I need to pull them wheels off. And I also found this whilst I had a quick look on. So I need to cable tie this up, but if you look right there, that cable is it's the charging side, so it must have come undone and it started burning into it. Luckily it hasn't burned into any wires, it's just gone into the actual plastic cabling, so I've been really lucky with that because it's literally sat next to the drive shaft as well. So yeah, been super lucky with that. So I'm gonna have to retie that up there out of the way. But yeah, that's about it with it. A few speed bumps, as you can see, but apart from that, it's looking good. So that's this big chunky drive shaft that's going on the driver's side, and as you can see, that's on the driver's side there is tiny compared to that. There's a massive size difference in them, and as I say, this CV joint's been clicking as well, so I might as well get it switched over. That one's looking like it's fine. It looks the same size as that one that's there. So I'm going to leave that one in, but I'm going to drain the oil out of the sump. Crushed washer looks like it's had better days, so I've got the new one of them anyway. So I'm gonna take this sump off, gonna fully drain it out, clean pickup pipe because I doubt it's been done. Put some fresh oil in it, put some fresh gearbox oil in it, and see how she goes. So this is where we've got so far. Got the nut off, got the wheel off, got the ball joint off. Just gonna go get the tray now to catch the oil, and then I'm gonna pull the drive shaft out. And just for a better reference of how small that Driveshaft is that I've just taken off compared to the bigger one now that we're going to be putting on. There is a big difference. What I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to get my grinder out and just cut the edge off of here. Someone did it on this one and they made a right mess of it. Couldn't even put a slip pin in it. That's why I've been taking it a bit steady in car, been checking that near enough every day before it's gone out. But yeah, gonna get this on and then we should be sound. So the reason for doing this is, and obviously I've left a nut on so I can thread it back off, and hopefully it should create a thread at the end for me to screw it back on. But the reason why you cut the end off is because these, is it hot? Yeah, it's hot. These end bits, they're just a bit too long, so they come out of the cap of the wheel, and then it doesn't allow you to put the centre caps on most wheels. So that's why you cut these down a bit shorter. So that's the oil out, drained it, and what's left in the bottom, I don't know if you can see it, there's like some little metal shavings. So yeah, if it goes, doesn't it? Be a fresh engine and we'll just go GT30, why not? So that's the gearbox oil. So I'm going to pull Sump plug off, drain that out and see what condition this engine's in, because I haven't changed oil in it yet. And if it's out to go by how that is and how it plugs what, I'll be surprised if there's no filings in that. So we'll see. I'm not right arsed, to be fair. As I say, it's just an excuse to stick a fresh engine. Might even stick a 2.3 2 litre and a B205 head. So B205, 2.3 bottom, so 235 or whatever they are, and then a 204 block, and then 205 head for flow, and probably some Volvo springs. Right, so that's the oil dropped. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it in there. I've put the sump plug back in, then I'm going to take the oil filter out, so obviously stick this underneath it, and then pull the sump off. And I'm glad I'm doing it, because as I've been pulling it out, I'm going to swirl my hand in it, but there's no big bits that have come out. And it looks alright, to be fair. So just swashing my hand just to see if there's anything to really worry about, and there's not. I can't really see out, and I'm not picking out up in my hand to worry about, so that's alright, it seems fine. So that's the oil filter off. Now apparently it had a full service, it had brand new water and radiator, gearbox oil, and engine oil. Obviously that looks a bit dark, and this filter, I've literally just had to get these grippers onto it because it didn't want to come off. And these normally come stamped with a date. Now if I look in the shade, don't know if this camera will pick it up, but it's actually got a stamped date. I can't even see it myself now. It's actually got a stamped date on top, at the bottom there, and it says 23rd of March 17. So you do the maths. 17. Now you'd expect them to be like this one. This is dated, and this is 4th of December 19. Sort of just coming into 2020, which will make sense with all COVID stuff. But you'd expect that the old one to be at least 18, cause it were only serviced apparently a week before we got it, which was what? I think we got it just before Christmas, the car. So yeah, it don't look like it's had a new oil filter done. He might have changed oil, I don't know, but it's not had a new filter put in it. So we'll get this freshie in, get it tightened up properly by hand. Gonna leave it to drain a bit more because it's still dripping, and then we'll drop the pan. Can't write it, can you? So I've literally just gone in, sat down, started making my food, and it's starting to piss it down. That's good, isn't it? Fucking typical. Halfway through it, and it starts pissing it down. But the sun looks like it's coming back out now, so hopefully, fingers crossed, it stays that way and we can crack on with it. But remember to like, comment, subscribe, and then I don't have to keep working on cars out in rain. We can go get a... I've only just noticed I've got some muck on my face. Kim, have you just let me sit down with muck on my face whilst I'm eating my food?
Yeah.
Dickhead.
So I've been there for like last 2 hours.
So yeah, get this done, and hopefully weather stays alright and we don't have a downpour. I've undone all the bolts on the sump. I just need to, well, I've got 2 bolts in it holding it, so I'm just gonna undo them now and then drop it down. So I've just come inside of the garage because it's getting a bit brutal is the wind. So this is the sump off. I've just checked all the float on the bottom of the crank. The crank seems fine. The bearing at the bottom of the rods has got a bit of float, but that's normal. Obviously with the age of the engine as well, but you'll normally carry a bit of float on the bottom of the rods. Just so, obviously when you get your oil pressure, obviously when you get your oil pressure in. So what I'm going to do is, just got my little tool set out, gonna undo all of these, because this is the pickup pipe. So if there's any shit at the bottom of your engine, this is literally going to suck it up and then throw it straight in through your engine. So I'm going to pull this off, this plate here, and then we're going to see if there is any chunks or out in the bottom. There's a bit of shit there, but not serious. Oh yeah, I'm glad I checked that now. So glad. Am I glad that I've just pulled that pickup off? Look at the fucking state, man. Wow. That's horrendous, that. Oh dear, oh dear. So, I'm going to give this a right good clean out now. See what's under all this oil under here. Clean that out and then it's all nice and fresh. But apparently when we bought this car, it had a full service, which we've already found out it didn't have a set of plugs, or the correct plugs, and they look like they're from 1998. And apparently it did pick up, and obviously not. Look at the fucking state, man. So yeah, gonna clean all this out, clean bottom out. If I find out else, I'll show yous. I'm gonna get it all back together, and hopefully she runs perfect. So I've literally just stuck my hand in a tiny bit, and where were it? Just look at that. All bits in bottom of there. We've been so lucky. It's unreal. Like, so lucky. Just like put too much sealant on. And it's just gone everywhere. Just bits of sealant and everything in bottom of here. And there were loads on pickup. I've cleaned that off now. But how much stuff are on there and then how much stuff's in bottom, how we haven't blown this engine up, is beyond me. Oh, that's just dried sealant. Oh, mate. How bad could that be, man? It's the car that keeps on giving, innit? But it could have been worse, I'll tell you that. Wow, lads, look at that. Clean! It's clean! Oh look, it's clean! So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to clean that baffle plate off, and then get it all back in, and then the pickup pipe will have actually been done. Right lads, so she's all back together, she's all clean, it's all tightened down. So we're going to get a tiny bit of sealant on outside, because less is more sometimes. You don't have to cake these because they're fairly flat. You can get a gasket for them, but the local parts store didn't have them, and I'd normally just stick a bit of sealant around edge anyway. So that's what I'm going to do. Got some proper sealant. This gasket maker RTV sealant, which is good for all this sort of stuff. So I'm going to whack that on around the edge. As I say, less is more. Gonna get that on, and then fasten it down, and we'll get some oil back into her. So that's the sump now. As I say, I put light little smidge on all the way around it, and then put gloves on. Put it on nice and smooth. It's not thick, just right is that. It'll be enough to compress, and you shouldn't get none in the sump. So I'm going to get that on. It is starting to rain again, so I'm just going to do it right fast, and then I'll get back to you. So got that drive shaft on. We've got the 4.5 litre of oils in that it says. We've got the gearbox oil in, so she's all fresh now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to prime it up, and then we'll give it a start and see if we have all leaking out of it that we shouldn't have. So, just had it ticking over, got all air out at system, got her fairly up to temperature, she was just creeping over 90. And underneath there's no leakies, so top job. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to throw this bar back on and then get the wheel on, and then we can drop it back down. You happy? Are you happy? So we're done, everything's done, she's back on her wheels, ready to fight another day. So yeah, we had it ticking over, got it up to about 90-95, and you can already tell the difference. It has definitely been starving of oil, because normally we'd leave it to tick over, it'd get up to 90 and the top of the engine was like fairly hot. Like it shouldn't be that hot unless it's been hammered, but now we've felt the top and it's like lukewarm, so there's definitely a difference there. So yeah, that's a full service done on the Corsa, and we've put the bigger drive shaft in, so she's got all new fluids now. I'll keep you up to date obviously over the next coming days of how it's going, if we've got any leaks, because I'm not bothered about showing my errors. That's the only way that you're learning it. So yeah, remember to like, comment and subscribe. If I helped you out in any way, definitely give me a like, share it to a friend, and whatever you're doing today, make it different. See you later.